Well, welcome to Redskins Football Radio Show at 2 p.m.
What?
That's right. This is the official Washington Redskins radio show.
I guess, can we say that now?
I don't know. I guess everybody can say it.
We're the official radio station of the Washington Redskins.
We are the official
I don't think we can say that.
radio station of the
Can we?
Washington Redskins.
Maybe we should get a reading on that.
Tune in.
A verdict.
Tune in live. We are live here. The official Washington Redskins radio show.
All right.
That's stupid.
Let's go ahead and just get out the phone number, 800-636-1067. 800-636-1067. That's the Indeed Carpet Cleaning listener line.
Hosted by former Washington Redskins great Chad Dukes.
Am I allowed to say that now?
I don't know. I know I'm not nervous about you getting a cease and desist today.
Well, if the trademark has been canceled, then anyone can, right? Even me.
Let's hear you. Let's hear you.
Redskins great, Chad Dukes.
Yeah.
That sounds good. It's going to give me some more work in this town, I think. The trademark's been canceled by the U.S. Patent Office because it's disparaging. Quote, as explained below, we decide, based on the evidence properly before us, that these registrations must be canceled because they were disparaging to Native Americans at the respective times they were registered in violation of Section 2A of the Trademark Act 1946, 15 U.S.C., some symbol I've never seen before, 1052A. So, that's where we're at. That's the story of the day. That's what everybody is rampaging about left and right. LaVar, you're kidding, but you recently received a cease and desist from the Redskins because you called yourself a Redskins great.
Well,
or you didn't call yourself
I
Redskins
didn't call
great.
it. That's what was put on the flyer.
That someone else had made.
Yes. Let's be clear.
But if
I generally don't walk around doing that.
they're going to appeal, of course, and I'm sure they'll be able to continue to use the name with the trademark during the appeal. But if this comes to fruition, there will be no more cease and desists. And I think what people need to know is that this isn't just Dan Snyder making some decision, even if they lose the appeal. I'll just take the money. I'll take it on the nose. I don't care. That's how important it is to me. There's a little thing called revenue sharing in the National Football League.
Yep.
So it's not just him. It's 31 other teams. I believe the Cowboys have their own deal. The phone's already filling up. What do you make of this? Is this the beginning of the end for the name of the football team?
I mean, you would have to assume so. You certainly have to assume this is the beginning of the end. I mean, that's where all the power is. You can't protect yourself without having that distinction. So, yeah, you'd have to assume that this might be it.
What do we always say this is going to come down to?
Money,
and it would come down to not Dan Snyder changing the name of the team, but the NFL getting involved and forcing the matter. That's what everyone has always said. It's what we've said on this show. And there's an appeals process here, and this has happened before for this team. They have appealed, and the motion has been overturned. But we're in an extraordinarily different political climate than we were even 5 years ago, VAR, much less back in the 90s.
It's just a pretty interesting development, if you ask me. I don't pretend to know all the ins and outs of what has gone into this. I played for this team, and I was proud to play for the Washington Redskins football team. I gave my best years here as a professional. So it's kind of, in my opinion, it's in a way, it's bittersweet, because that's, you think about it, as a former player, I played for this team. So what did I stand for as a person? If this is a racist name, that's some of the things that you begin to think about. and then you begin to think about how it applies to you and your career. And so it seems as though it's going to change at this point. I don't think there's any going back after something like this takes place. So it's just interesting for me to look at and think about, how does it apply to me, and did I play a part in perpetuating this? And you'd have to say yes. I feel like it's a given to feel as though I played a part. Anybody who's played on the team has played a part in the perpetuation of the continued use of a racial slur. If that's, again, and to that point, I guess the ultimate dilemma, the ultimate personal tug of war is it justifiable to say that it's a racial slur? And I think that's the discussion that I guess is taking place.
Well, certainly the U.S. Patent Office believes that it is.
Well,
certainly they do, because that is where this ruling came down from. Looking at an article here on Forbes where they quote the trademark attorney for the Washington Redskins, where he says no effect at all on the team's ownership and right to use the Redskins name and logo. And yes, he's correct. That's absolutely right. This does not, they can have their name be the Redskins with this ruling. The government cannot tell them to not name their team the Redskins, but what they can do is they can revoke the trademark. And what that means is it will be readily available for everyone. There'll be officially licensed apparel, but you'll be able to buy this stuff all over the place. And there's been lots of financial people that know more about this than you and I that say this is millions of dollars worth of revenue that we're talking about. So again, I don't think it comes down to you, John J. Redskins fan, or Dan Snyder, whomever it is, saying, well, who cares? We'll just keep it the way that it is. It will become a larger issue than that. The NFL has had no comment on this up until this point. Why do you think that is?
You can't say the wrong thing.
They're waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, you gotta wait and see.
And I think you're fooling yourself if the Redskins lose this appeal. And yes, it could take years, but you're fooling yourself if you think that if they do lose the appeal, the NFL wouldn't say, all right, enough of this. Time to change the name. You're costing us all money. The NFL is within their power to do that. So we're going to take some phone calls on this all day. 800-636-1067 is the phone number, the Adi Carpet Cleaning listener line. Darren Heitner, founder of Heitner Legal, author of How to Play the Game, owner of sportsagentblog.com, and legal contributor to the aforementioned Forbes, is going to come on with us to talk about this issue and what it means, what's the next step. Mike Florio from ProFootballTalk.com will join us at 3 p.m. Daniel Kaplan, financial NFL reporter for the Sports Business Journal, is going to join us at 4:30. So we got some guys that can get down to the nitty-gritty for us. They can get down to brass tacks. They will have the information whether or not this is the beginning of the end or is this just something that the Redskins have encountered before, which they will shoot down in the appeals process. And we'll also take your calls at 800-636-1067. That's 800-636-1067. Feel free to tweet us as well. It's at LaVar Arrington and at Chad Dukes. You're listening to 106.7 The Fan.